I think this is the number one underrated thing you can do while traveling. And no, I'm not going to talk about something you can do while you're on a trip, specifically to the location or anything like that. I'm actually going to talk about a journal. No, this is not my little black book. Even though it is a black book, this is actually one of my travel journals from 2016 when I did a European trip. And journaling while traveling was something that was introduced to me on my very first international overseas trip in 2005 when I went to Australia with the People to People program. We were required to keep a daily journal on our trip, which I did. It was a requirement. And I think that was just something that, even though at the time I wasn't into the whole journal thing, I'm really glad I did. Funny enough, this year, for the majority of this year, I have been trying to find that journal. It's in a red spiral bound notebook somewhere and I haven't found it yet. So if anybody wants to send me good vibes that I find that, that would be amazing. While I digress, our little helper is here. Munch has come and taken her spot. You'll notice she has her collar off today. She's getting a break from it. But still have not figured out the fur problem. We'll figure that out. But back to the topic at hand. Keeping a journal. Why do I think this is one of the most underrated things that you can do while you're traveling? Even if you're not a journaler, hear me out. There are so many things that happen while you're traveling that if you don't write them down, you're gonna forget in a year, 2 years, in this case, almost 10 years for this particular journal. And it's just something that's so special to be able to look back on all these years later and see what you did, what your thoughts were, little details you might have forgotten. They're fun things. Maybe someday you want to hand down to next generation. And not something that I have the opportunity to do, but you never know. Just throwing that out there. So if you're not a huge journaler, don't worry. I have ideas for you too. So if you're not a big journaler, my tip would be just make an outline of the things you did. It can be what you had for breakfast, where you went to breakfast, what time you caught the train, or just the top things you did that day. Let's say you're on a trip to London and you went out and just grabbed a coffee and then you went and saw, say, Tower Bridge and then the Tower of London. Then maybe you went to lunch somewhere over by Westminster before seeing Westminster Abbey, then took a walk through the park, saw Buckingham Palace, and then had dinner maybe at a restaurant like Rules, and then saw a show and turned in for the night. Just the highlights. Doesn't have to be anything in depth. I know in this particular journal, it was fun to read through it the other day and see that I took silly little timestamp notes almost 10 years ago. So I have in here, for example, on the first page, I have the time that we actually took off from the airport, which was 6:09 a.m. I look at that now and I think I must have been insane because I don't morning. And then I have even our landing times. I have what time we landed in Boston because I flew through Boston at the time. We landed at 4:28 p.m. And then I have other little fun timestamps in here, like which particular train I took, if it was the morning train or the afternoon train. And I have those timestamps, which of course I'm not finding off the top. I really should have put sticky notes in this thing. But all that to be said, you get the point. It's just something that's kind of fun because I look back at some of this and I go, oh my God, like, why did I take the morning train? I must have been crazy to be on vacation and go, yeah, let's get up super early. But at the same time, sometimes trains are really long and you just need to get up early so you can have some of your day left. So that's just some fun details. If you want to get more involved in your journal and make it a little more detailed, I know in this one, it was a solo trip I did, and I stayed at a bunch of hostels, and I took notes of the people that I met, their names, where they were from, what we did, and it was fun seeing their names. Some of them I am still in contact with today, some I'm not. We've lost touch over the past decade, which is a bummer, but now like, okay, well, maybe we're still friends on social and I can find them. So that's something that's super cool that's in here as well. I have little details about whether it was a beautiful day. So of course the weather, you can note that. I have uh I have details I was just reading real quick here. I was like, why did I write about grass? I was writing about a hike I did in Scotland and how I thought it was so interesting that the trail was grass versus dirt. Where I live, most all the trails are dirt. So just kind of fun details. If you want to get super, super detailed, maybe your journaling evolves as you travel over the years. So when I started, I had individual journals like this that were dedicated solely to travel because I really wasn't a journaler until the pandemic hit. Then I really got into journaling almost daily. It kind of fluctuates depending on what life is doing. And I just incorporated my travels into my daily journal. So I now record things like the emotions and other things that were going on in life. My travels evolved that work comes with. I was a fully remote worker, worked all over the world, and just talking about the days where, oh, okay, I had a great morning and early afternoon, but now time difference is a thing, and I have to go to work and I have to be up till 1 a.m. and that's no fun. I miss nights out in the city, and so. Um, your journaling can get super detailed as well, but I think the point is, amongst all the other smaller points, is this is just so, so underrated. It's such a special thing that you can do for yourself, that you can do for other people, that you can look back on and see, and um, you'll see even as things age, they go a little slack here, but I just think it's a cool thing to do. I don't think a lot of people do it as much perhaps as they used to do, or maybe it doesn't get the notoriety it used to get. I think in this digital age, everything goes to Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or Pinterest or YouTube, speaking of, and you get this highlight reel and you see that kind of like your daily, your journal, your vlogging. Um, but I still think a lot of the human aspect gets lost in that quick clip kind of thing um, that you get in journaling, and so highly recommend it. I think it's super underrated. Just grab a small notebook, grab a pen. Like it literally can be something. The smallest thing I think is like, let's see, this thing is like a 4x5 notebook, maybe 3.5, 3x5. I think it's a 3x5 notebook. It'll fit in your wallet. Not your wallet. Probably the size of your wallet. It will fit in your purse. It will fit in your pocket. Toss a pen in and just jot down notes, jot down things you've seen, jot down the highlights, jot down um, just whatever comes to mind. I promise you'll enjoy it. You may not enjoy it in the moment, as I did not enjoy it in the moment 20 years ago. But looking back, I'm so thankful that I've done that. So I think, again, one of the most underrated things you can do as a traveler is keep a journal. And that's about it for this one. So we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.